Hey guys, just got back from the theater from seeing the new kids movie, Sketch, from my favorite studio, Angel Studios. I jokingly call this studio the bane of my existence. Jokingly say that all the time because I don't know how, I had to think off the top of my head how many movies this year I've seen so far of theirs. And so far, I think three. What's the fourth? And there's still four fucking movies of theirs coming out. Like, seriously, if you're like me who goes to theaters all the time, you get a lot of their fucking movies. No matter how many, no matter what is coming out, you will always get Angel Studios movies. And I don't hate most of them. There's some that I actually think are pretty good. I think they're not bad. But it's the practices that it's very hard. My problems with, I could go a whole video of what I have problems with Angel Studios. One, I feel like they play it too safe. They tackle a lot of dark subjects a lot of times, but they play it too fucking safe. And that's like, the more, while I was watching this movie, as I'll get into, I kind of had that same feeling. But, like, it's, and, like, they kind of go for one demographic one demographic only, and that is conservative religious people. And these fucking people, no matter what movie they produce, I usually have a pretty crowded theater. Like every fucking time a new movie of theirs comes out, they have a lot of seats already filled up. And that's basically because of the bullshit that they do, which is called the pay it forward jack shit. That that is probably the only reason they make any fucking money is because of that pay it forward thing, which they try to say goes to good causes, but really is just to make more movies. But whatever, they like fucking Sound of Freedom. I can go on and on about. It. I don't want to keep going on about Angel Studios. I can't. I won't say everything they've done is terrible because they're not. There's been good movies. Actually, one of the movies I thought was probably one of their better ones was one of least the worst reviewed ones, which was The Shift, which was a which was a take on the story of Job. Damn, the story of Job, and it did it in a different way, like a sci-fi way. I actually appreciated that. I thought for the first time in like a long time, they actually took some risk with that story and did try to tell it in a different way, not just the same generic biblical way that's been told 500 million times. It's between that, like Jesus, movies about Jesus. It's like how many times can you tell that story over and over and over again? Like hell, I think the last movie they did that scene was The King of Kings, which did have one of the funniest things I've ever fucking seen. In one of these because they always at the end of the credits play they get pay they're advertising their pay it forward their QR codes. Every one of their movies, no matter what, have that stupid QR code about pay it forward. And it did result in my favorite thing in the whole which in that one where the little girl said they're asking little kids what they liked about the movie and the little girl goes, like when the kitty went meow. That's all she said. But getting back into the actual movie that I'm here to talk about, not just ranting about Angel Studios. Uh, Sketch is a movie that I got trailers for. It actually was a Monday Mystery movie a few weeks ago. I hadn't got, like I said, I don't go see the Monday Mystery movies anymore, but I was told it was one of them. And it's been getting decent reviews. Usually, most Angel Studios movies get decent reviews, but they don't have many reviews to them. Like it had like 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. It had like maybe 12 reviews. Like they like literally the one trailer I got for this movie, like literally advertised that it was getting 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, even though it had like 12 reviews. If you looked up, like, okay, like, I looked up, like, really? This movie has 100%? And it's like 12 reviews, but it's like, it's still at 97, so it's still getting decent reviews, really good reviews. So, it don't have a it's one of those don't have a critical consensus, so it doesn't have enough reviews to get a consensus. So that should tell you something. Usually, most Angel Studios movies have that problem. So, yeah, I thought this movie was not bad. It was a pretty cute little movie. I had some. It did surprise me in some levels I'll talk about, but uh, so I will say this: like the acting for the most part, I thought was pretty solid. I like Tony Hale as the dad. I always liked Tony Hale as an actor in general. He's a very funny comedic actor, and he's likable as this dad who just recently lost his wife, and he's trying to help raise his kids without his wife, and trying to navigate their life through now not having his wife around, and like he weirdly decides to he goes to extremes in dealing with his wife's the grief of his wife's death. He takes all pictures of her down right after he admits to this, and to right after when she dies. I'm like, I don't think that's normal. I know that people go for different griefs, but like, there's a lot of people in this movie that have a little bit of mental health issues. It's what I'll get into. And then you have the daughter, who's very good in this movie, who is really, really dealing with some really has some really troubling grief. Like this poor girl is like has some pretty dark thoughts, let's just say, and she takes those thoughts and draws them, including a picture of like the first picture you see her that she drew was her stabbing a student or a fellow student of hers that keeps bullying her. It's like a monster like stabbing him. Like it's not he just stabs him for the stomach. I'm like that's still not much better. Like even the bully's like that's not much fucking better. Like and the bully that was the only performance like that I could not stand. He's in a lot of this fucking movie. I don't want to rag on little kid actors, so I'm not going to sit here because that's just wrong. So, but like he was probably the worst part of the movie for me. Uh, he But like I said, this movie was well, a really weird sit for some at some points, especially at the beginning of the thing, because like I said, it opens up and like the credits are like something out of a horror movie. A lot of the music cues are out of something like out of a horror movie. Um, a lot of the drawings this girl's drawing is something out of a horror movie. Like this feels like I'm not like a little normal little girl who's grieving drawing this shit. It almost feels like Michael Myers is drawing this shit. I'm like, is this movie gonna like turn into like a really hardcore? And I'm like, then I had to remind myself it's PG. I'm like, well, and it's Angel Studios, so no, it's not. But I'm like, this movie can become a horror movie really fucking quickly. Like, this could be the origins of Michael Myers or somebody new. Like, and and I almost thought about seeing this yesterday along with Weapons and Strange Harvest. Honestly, as a double feature, this would have been like kind of an interesting double feature with Weapons, where you're dealing with kids and. But yeah, like this was weird, and someone like this this kid has obviously got some really dark thoughts, and I'm like, where the fuck is this? Like, this is so weird. And that's like, at first, Angel Studios, and they're gonna kind of sugarcoat it in this really dark material subject matter, but at the same time, you realize that this girl is dealing with a lot of grief, and I give it a lot of credit. It talks a lot about grief and what this little girl's going through, and why she's doing the stuff that she's doing. And I give it a movie. It's a heartwarming little movie. It tugs your heartstrings. The monsters were, you know, harmless. They were kid friendly. If this movie was made in the '80s, it would be a lot fucking darker. It would have been a lot darker. That's all I kept thinking to myself was like, this is made by the wrong people at the wrong time because in the '80s, this would have been made. This would have been like something that would have traumatized your kids, like Gremlins or name any kids movie from the '80s. Like, yeah, that like we're like traumatizing for kids, and like somehow like we're geared towards kids. But like I wish it kind of this is something like this because like they're never like really any danger. Like, oh, of course it's a kids movie, but like again, if this was the '80s, it would have been a whole different story. Kids would have been eaten. Like kids would have been stomped to death or some shit like that. Like there would have been actual some real danger. I miss those kinds of fucking kids movies, man. I, I know it's demented, but this is a harmless kids movie. This is one of the better. Like I said, Angel Studios does produce decent movies. I just feel like they play it too safe on a lot of because deal with a lot of dark subject matter. Like I said, they still got four movies in there, so I'm going to be sure be doing reviews for more of them. But I give this a solid B. It's a B. It's nothing really offensive. It was weird watching, like especially the first half of this movie. Like it felt like it was a like the subject, the tone it was trying to set was kind of all over the place. But yeah, I liked it. I thought it was decent. And a little girl behind me, and I don't think she was really anything bothered by anything. So I don't think, far as kids, I don't think the funniest thing of this movie was one of the trailers I got, where it was another religious movie from a firm films that studio makes really safe uh, religious movies where it was so cheesy. This movie had the sketch also was kind of very sitcom-y, and it's like it is obviously a little too sitcom-y for me. But that was another thing I forgot to mention. But there's this trailer about this kid who gets in a fire and in a house fire and survives, but he is told his parents are told he has burns on 100% of his body. And then they show his face, and his face is fine, but the rest of his body, I was like, so it's not 100% of his body. Then I don't think they know what 100% is. Maybe I'm maybe I'm wrong on that, but like I said, it's not 100% of her body. His face is fine, but the rest of his body, I get it. And he can't use his arms or hands, and he fucking grows up and tries to be a carpenter. He can't even use his hands. And like, but it becomes a story about him, an inspirational story, and I swear to God, you won't believe what the title of this movie is. I swear to God, the title of this movie is. It's one I when they revealed the title, I went, "What?" It said "Spirit on Fire." I was like, "Was Burn Baby Burn not ready? Not available?" Like, what the fuck? Like Spirit on Fire? Really? Is that what their title's gonna be? That might be. That's maybe the funniest title since Devil's Due about a pregnancy, that a devil getting a girl pregnant. That's about as funny as that. But like, yeah, that's pretty funny. That's as far as the terrible religious trailers go and sketch goes. I'll be back in the next few days with one. I'll have a review one day for Strange Harvest, and then also Freakier Friday. Until then, I'll talk to you guys later.